Canada to ban cosmetic testing on animals.
Here's a summary of the article.
European airlines to invoke EU freedoms to challenge flight bans. Ottawa must enforce vaping penalties to protect kids, advocates say.
This post received a score of 10,000, with an upvote ratio of 96%. Here are the top comments in response to this article.
Many years ago, a girl I knew volunteered for testing instead of animals. She lost all of her eyelashes when testing a mascara.
Why would that be a volunteer thing? At least clinical trials almost always compensate you with cash.
Simply because of the paperwork and bureaucracy required to perform a clinical trial. Therefore, the cosmetic industry run volunteer studies. They still require ethics, etc., but you can set up your own ethics committee and pass off your own experimental protocols.
Why would anyone volunteer though? So it doesn't happen to animals?
The volunteers I worked with on some volunteer studies did get compensated. The customer of one study I did required video diaries and provided cameras which the participants could keep if they completed the study. In non-healthy trials, i.e. those where the volunteer needs to have a certain condition, they're looking for a cure. I helped run an ants study where participants required a certain grade of acne. The treatment was so successful for one candidate they really didn't want to return the device.
Bristol really got the shit end of the stick.
Does this include imported products?
In the article, it says any product sold in Canada. This would logically include imports.
Yes, cosmetics tested on animals will not be allowed to be sold in Canada once this passes.
Probably cheaper to test on Uyghurs anyway. Sadly, I'm only partially kidding.
I haven't bought cosmetics like ever, but they still do that kind of shit.
Some places, Europe forbids sale of cosmetic products tested on animals past a certain date, so it took a sharp reduction, but for those who don't care about the European market, it's still viable. Note that there are no real alternatives to animal testing. We simply decided we had enough products and data to work with and refused to develop new ones. Which is also why this is viable for cosmetics, but not things like medicine. Instead, we push for regulations such as ethic approvals to be similarly applied. But the point is that it has to be applied to sales to make a real dent.
Greater than. The department is developing a proposal to ban cosmetic testing on animals and continues to support the development and use of alternative methods to animal testing for other products or uses. Health Canada said in a statement. Emphasis added. What kinds of alternatives are they talking about? Growing cloned skin to test upon? Synthetic skin-like substances?
Lab-grown skin for testing is an option. It's good for certain tests but incredibly expensive. There are other in vitro tests which can be done which are cheaper but only suitable for some information. I used to manage a contract research lab for this kind of thing where we grew in vitro skin models.
This video was automatically created by Reddit to speech. The article and comments in this video were selected from Reddit according to their upvotes, and any paraphrasing was performed by smmry.com, without any human intervention.